Okay, this is the main screen of the software. On the top left, we're gonna see the recipe that is currently loaded, the name of the recipe. Then next to it is the machine state, which is a traffic light, where red means the machine is alarmed. Yellow one is there's a warning, so it means that you need to do something for the machine to work. And then green one is the machine is ready to go. And here you're gonna see which alarm or what's the state of the machine. You can see on this button over here what alarms are currently on. So if you went ahead and do whatever you need to do, then you can clear it with this button. Once you clear the alarm, then the traffic light changes. So now it's waiting for me to do something. This is just waiting for me to hit start. Then the next button over here is all my record of my alarm. If I hit it, you're gonna see all your alarm. Okay. Then this button over here, if I turn it green, it will allow me to start the cycle of the machine with my doors open. Normally, you need to start it first with the doors closed and then hit it so that you can activate it. So if I hit start, now that the machine is waiting for me to put some pieces, if I activate it, then I can open the door and maybe I can shake my guns or do something with my gun. And if I deactivate it, it won't work if I have my door open. Under normal operation, this will stay red just for safety. And then our next button over here, the green arrow means that we are online with my other machines in the line. We normally have this online so that the machine will wait for all the other machines to be ready. If you want to operate the machine independently from the rest of the line, then you hit it and the red line means that the machine is offline. So that's the only way if you want to operate the machine separate from the line. So we keep it red, but normally your machine should be online to run with the rest of the line. And then this button over here will, when you're running your cycle, the button will send your arms to the center of the belt, and that way you can test your gun to see if one of your tips is clogged or not. Another way to check it is pressing this over here to do a cleaning procedure. If you see this is the one with the bucket and the mop, so when you press it, the machine will go back and forth, train your gun. That way you can see if you have a clogged tip. And then here you can change the speed of your arm and the speed of your conveyor. And then this button over here, paper with the handwriting, is our recipe. When you click it, the first screen that we're gonna see is which circuit are we using. That means which circuit of gun we're using. So in this case, this circuit, if we go over here on this page, we show that my circuit is gonna run with guns 1, 4, 5, and 8. And then the color of the means which pump gonna be used. So in this case, we're gonna use pump number 2. Then this over here is my reader bar. So normally you run it with this on, so make sure it always says on. Then here you can modify the speed of my belt, then the speed of my cleaning unit. Here I can also activate or deactivate which cleaning unit I want to use during my cycle. Maybe I have this on so I can do some maintenance on this one, and vice versa. If I have this one, I can do maintenance on my other one. So that allows me to have always one clean. And then I can adjust the speed of my cleaning unit. Then here I can change the speed of my A arm and my B arm. If I want it offset a little bit, then I can make them run at different time. If you have an auto filter, you can change these values here so that when the machine is being run for a certain time, then the auto filter will fit the new filter on top of your accordion filter. In this case, we have that activated on this machine, so we're gonna leave it at 0. Okay. Then the next tab, the edges, we're gonna see the overspray values. Then we can activate or deactivate my push or pull. So if this is white, I mean it's deactivated. So now we're only using pull mode only. But in this case, I'm gonna leave them green. And then this simplified program is on. If I leave it off, then I have to do all my overspray values for each gun. If I go to my gun, then I have to do, okay, this gun, I want this to work different than the other one, but we always recommend to leave it simplified, so that you have to do a lot of adjustments. And then remember to have the edges and surface values, overspray values, the same, so that the machine works consistently. And on this page, I can tell for this recipe which guns I want it to be working. So if I deactivate gun number 1, I click this button over here, and then you can see that that gun is deactivated. I'm gonna leave it like that, and then yeah, you can see that all my guns are being used on this recipe. If I change the recipe, maybe I want to use different gun. Then this is my A arm and my B arm, same thing. I can activate or deactivate my gun. And then on my note tab, I can put reminders for the operator to maybe use this size of tip, maybe use this pressure on my pump or some value of the overspray on my guns, and just a reminder for the operator. And then if I want to save it, I hit the floppy disk and then saving. If I want to load a different recipe, I hit here the folder button, and then I can load whatever recipe I want to load. And then the next button over here is our gun setup. Here I can modify my coordinates of each gun. If I have a different angle on different guns, I can draw the coordinates on a paper of the belt and then measure all my coordinates so that I can tell the machine where that gun is pointing. And you can have 4 setups. Just make sure you have the setup that you currently have on your guns. So if you have this activated and your guns are on a different angle, then your machine is going to spray honey. So make sure you have the right setup loaded. And here you can change the settings of your A arm or your B arm and save it over here. Okay, normally these values we set them like on our install. So this compensation value is the time that we tell the machine to trigger our gun, like a compensation to turn it off. This is just because the air flow to trigger a gun, it takes a little while to get it to the right coordinate. We don't recommend that you change these values unless you speak to one of your Superfici techs. Alright, if we hit this green arrow, it's gonna take us back to the home screen. Our next button over here is the Swiss Army knife. When we press it, it's gonna take us to the machine parameter. This is password protected, so we don't recommend accessing these settings unless you have authorization from a Superfici tech. If you need to access to it, maybe your supervisor has the password, so you can ask him to give it to you or call one of our Superfici techs. This button over here is for manual controls. So here we can activate or operate each part of our machine like individually. So to do that, on this screen particularly, we need to start the cycle. That way we can move our arm to the center of the belt and then activate my guns. Then if I hit this button, I'm gonna do like a cleaning procedure. So it's gonna spray on my belt and it's gonna spray until I turn it off, which is different from here. This one will do a cleaning mode, but it's only gonna do it for 5 seconds. This button over here, you can adjust the height of your arm or your gun. So right now we have 51 millimeters. Then if I hit it, you're gonna see how it moves. And we can put it back to, we suggest that you keep the same values to have the same result. And then on our next tab, the photo diode bar, we're gonna see our LED bar. If we have any trash or something stuck in it, we'll see some of these LEDs on. And then my reciprocator, with this button, I can send it to the home position, or if I want to move it to the other side, you'll see that both arms are moving the same way, or send it back or send it to home. Okay. Then the next page is the conveyor. Here I can manipulate my conveyor and my cleaning unit. So just remember to have this on, because otherwise you're not gonna be able to manipulate anything on this screen. You need the manual start on, then I can turn my belt, turn it off, and I can turn on my rollers, turn them off. Here I can see my status or my position of my cleaning units. So right now this is showing me that the cleaning units are in position, and then I can see that my roller is not up, neither my tank is up. So once I lift it, we'll see that this one will turn on. And then my tank, I need to go there to the cleaning unit and activate it separate because it has pneumatic bulb. So if I turn it on, you'll see that it turns on. Just remember to have the tank up so that the cleaning unit is gonna work. And then we can manually, if we need to do some maintenance, we can turn the roller on. Okay, be careful of all the pinch point that you can have on the roller. And yeah, that's it. Our next page over here, the ventilation. Here you can trigger manually the auto filter or not. In this case, we don't have it, so it's not gonna do anything. But then we can turn on the exhaust fan and the intake air fans. So this is basically for maintenance, just to check that my fans are working or not. And then in this case we have a mixer, so it's going to show us a tab with a mixer, so we can see and manipulate the amount of the paint base and the amount of the catalyst, so you can adjust it here. This next button over here will show us like spreadsheet or like a report of my production. We have another video to show you how to export your production report, so you can watch it for more details on that video. Next button over here, you got with the wrench, it's all your maintenance. It'll show you all your maintenance parts that you need to do, the counter and the set point. So when you do it, you have a button here to clear out the counter. So just make sure you do it before you clear it. So in this case, we did this. So I'm gonna clear it and my counter resets here. If you want more information about maintenance, you can go see our video about maintenance of the Magnum. All right, and then okay, the next button over here is gonna send us to a folder on the PC. This folder here, we have the electrical schematic. So if I go with the mouse and I open it, then I have my schematic. So you might need it in case you have some troubleshooting to do with the support of one of our Superfici tech. And then this button of the keys is to load the password for the maintenance or to clear out the password. And then this button over here is to turn off the PC.